From a mine that almost started a war to a forest of petrified trees, we count Utah's top 5 mine stories. Number 5. The story of Emil Radatz is a rare example of a riches to rags to riches story. Radatz was a mine investor who, in 1907, had a hunch that he would strike it rich in the Tintic mining district, located southwest of Salt Lake City. He organized a mining company and divided out 1 million shares to his members and anyone who was willing to invest. After digging for over a year and putting thousands of dollars into the operation, nothing was found. To raise money, Radatz sought and secured loans from banks and continued digging. By 1910, the mine was producing some ore, but not enough to make it profitable. Radatz never lost his confidence, selling his ranching operation in California so that he can continue his mining operation. By 1916, the mine still wasn't producing anything big, and Radatz considered putting his Salt Lake City home on the market. However, his miners finally struck it rich in the mine, coming across one of the most pure silver bodies ever discovered at that point in the region's history. The mine was dubbed the Tintic Standard Mine. Radatz had finally found what he was looking for. Within a few years, over $1 million had been paid in dividends alone, and a settlement called Dividend was spawned. Overall, over $19 million worth of dividends was paid and $80 million in silver produced. The mine became a lead producer of silver for the entire country until it closed in 1949. Number 4. In 1875, silver was discovered in sandstone rock formations near Leeds, about 15 miles north of St. George. A mining town called Silver Reef was born, and thousands of prospectors came to the area to stake their mining claims. One such claim was the Thompson McNally, named for 2 early settlers. In 1879, a discovery was allegedly made in the Thompson McNally that shocked geologists of the day and continues to baffle modern scientists. One of the miners broke the right rock at the right time, though some say it was a cave-in, revealing an entire forest of petrified wood heavily saturated with nearly pure silver ore. Silver had been found in petrified wood in other mining claims in the district, but never in this quantity. This discovery led to the Thompson and McNally briefly becoming one of the mining district's top contributors of wealth. Mining company dignitaries were often showed this petrified forest of sorts, and this helped boost the popularity of the mining district, bringing people and mining companies to the region. Unfortunately, this amazing find was quickly mined out, and once it was gone, the Thompson and McNally's production fell considerably. Since we don't have any pictures of the discovery, it's unknown whether or not it actually occurred. Regardless, it is documented that the mine did see a peak in production for a brief time, and even if the legend isn't entirely true, it's still a very interesting story. Number 3. John Bradshaw was a part-time prospector in a small Utah town called Minersville. He wasn't very good at prospecting, but he did run a profitable mercantile business in town. One night, Bradshaw had a very vivid dream that seemed too vivid to be unreal. In his dream, Bradshaw discovered a cave in the mountains north of Minersville, and in this cave was a pack rat's nest filled with small gold nuggets. Bradshaw told a few fellow prospectors this story as they passed through his store, but they laughed off his story and didn't bother looking for the mine of his dream. Bradshaw himself hiked up the mountain, which is now called Bradshaw Mountain, in search of his dream mine. After several hours, Bradshaw sat down to rest, and as he looked up, he noticed a cave on the hill above his resting place. He immediately recognized it as the cave from his dream, and upon hiking up to it, discovered a pack rat's nest with gold nuggets. Bradshaw returned to Minersville and told anyone who would listen that he wasn't crazy and had made a rich gold strike. Within a month, hundreds of miners settled in a narrow canyon, and the rough-and-ready mining camp of Bradshaw was born. Unfortunately, since he never legally filed his mining claim, John Bradshaw never saw a dime for his find, though he was hired to guard the mine in its later years at $30 per month. The cave mine produced gold and silver for several years before being abandoned in the early 20th century. Number 2. It may be hard to believe, but one of Utah's mines was involved in an international scandal that almost led to war with Great Britain. In 1868, a silver mine was located in Little Cottonwood Canyon, southeast of Salt Lake City. It was named the Emma Mine. The owners of the mine were James Lyon and United States Senator William Stewart. The mine wasn't exactly the richest in the area, and it was completely worked out by 1871. Still eager to make money off of their mine, Stewart and Lyon hatched up a scheme to sell the mine to British investors. The mine was salted with samples of silver from other mines in the region, and with the assistance of U.S. Ambassador Robert Schenck, British investors actually fell for the scam, investing a total of $5 million into the mine. They quickly discovered that they had been scammed and immediately demanded compensation for their mistake. Ambassador Schenck resigned under pressure but was never committed of any crimes. Eventually, in 1876, the issue escalated to the United States Congress and the British Parliament. Threats of war were thrown around on several occasions, but fortunately a total war was avoided. However, the incident halted all British investment in Utah's mines for several decades. Today, the Emma mine sits abandoned, as empty as it was when British investors of more than a century ago fell for one of the most infamous mining scams in history. Number 1. The Lost Rhodes Mine is probably one of Utah's most famous lost mines. In 1855, Brigham Young and a fellow Mormon pioneer named Thomas Rhodes entered an agreement with Ute Indian chief Wakara and began small-time development on a gold mine in what would become Uinta County. At the time, Young's general stance on precious metal mining was that it was unnecessary and would bring undesirables into his kingdom. However, his kingdom was in need of money, and as such, the mine's location was kept amongst Young, Rhodes, and a few other high-ups in the church. The mine never entered large-scale production and only served to fund the well-being of the settlements in early Utah. At some point, the location of the mine was passed on to Thomas Rhodes' son, Caleb. In 1897, Caleb Rhodes attempted to stake an official claim on the ground where the mine was located. This was not possible, as the mine was located on Ute Indian land, and the reservation would not allow Caleb to stake a claim. He would have to wait until the reservation was open for settlement, which was done in 1905. Unfortunately, Caleb died just a few months before the reservation was opened, taking the secret of the location of the Rhodes mine with him. To this day, the legend of the Lost Rhodes mine lives on. Adventurers and outdoor enthusiasts continue to search for the lost mine of Thomas Rhodes. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.